Hello, this is Gerald here from us. The way we hear letters in words gives us a certain amount of attention. This amount of attention has different sorts of perspectives and associations that are triggered by it. Certain letters we are given a very direct attention because they're very short and we really know immediately what it means, in what place it has, and so on. Other letters or sounds have a little bit longer attention. They take longer, they evolve a little bit, we need a bit more time for them. We associate them differently. And a couple of letters, mostly vibrations, we're not very sure where it is located, where it is heading at, so they are the indirect attentions. And that's actually the basis of what we hear, that has a similar basis of associations in what we could see, what we are seeing. Because also what we see, we can pick out things that also trigger our direct attention because we have them directly before us now, immediately, with a certain stable view as well. For what we hear with the longer attention, we also associate them in our view with things that takes longer, that we have to go to, we have to direct to, we need timing for it. So we go beyond that stable space. We use actually associations of timing. And with the indirect attention, we try to estimate, we try to predict actually where is the effect actually, where has the effect, where is the connection in the effect, where is the effect restricted, and so on. And all these sorts of positions that you have them now visually are associated with letters automatically. It's just the same way as we try to orientate ourselves by hearing, by seeing. There are following certain rules that we can use to give an order to the letters. How it comes so that we use these letters, not going to talk about that. I'm going to give another example. And the example will, of course, use again what I use more often, these distinctions between the three zones in a way that I have the distinctions of what is stable. I use before me on the earth, let's say, that's where the objects lie, where the points of references are. I separate them, although they are not entirely separated. But you can imagine them better if you do so. The things with timing, where you need timing for it, you need some time for it, where I compare it mostly with what I choose, what you are, what your opinion is, and have the approach towards the differences. And of course, this wave in the background are there, then the general focuses that needs to be included somewhere. That's also then my conclusion, where the starting point is my starting point itself. So there I will have my balanced out letters. The letters positions in these three regions are seen here at the right. The word I'm going to use today is the word of attention. Why? Because when I use the letters, actually they are shifting my attention. They are directing my attention. So it would be also a good way to, as an example, with the word attention. What is this attention actually giving attention to? What is attention actually? What are the elements of the attention itself, the elements that we need to have an attention? Every word has a kind of balance with letters, which is an expression, and this combined expression explains also what we need for it. So what do we need for this attention? I will explain here as well. There's an A and a T in the beginning. The A and the T, you see them in the beginning of this scheme. So where we have our first starting point in this circle, which I have there. So the three first starting points, as you see in the scheme, is the A, the T, and the K. You can compare them actually as my starting point, my pick out, which goes towards the thing, the T itself is the thing itself, the definition itself as a starting point, where I start from. And if it's further away from you, from your starting point, it meets the other thing, the thing that you do not know yet also, that is further away from you. These are the differences of starting points. And what we do is our attention, also so, because our attention is also our intention, what we're going to pick out, what we're going to choose, what we're going to take care that we see, what we hear, that we understand it, and so on, starts from A, and that is from our point of view. We're going to start to pick out the things we understand, and so on, and where are we going to focus upon is of course upon the thing, the T, the thing. The T is then on the background, there's horizontal, vertical, and diagonal as well, because these are the references that makes us easy to orientate ourselves. The A is in the background on the horizontal plane, the T on the vertical plane, and the K on the diagonal plane, but we only need horizontal and vertical. So that's that cross point. The T is that cross point, which we also will refer to our main focus, the main focus on space, the middle point focus on the now that is stable, which is not moving at all. We're going to have that cross point. Let's go towards it, and let's go towards that middle point. Here I have my starting point of focus. In a way, you also have them in a numerological set, so all the letters you can have from 1 to 9 into coming towards it, having the number, and bigger than the number, so it's less than the number in A, it's the number 1 in T, so 1 is the number for making a definition. Going towards 1 is trying to make my definition, try to discover my definition, and so on. That's also the intention that you can also compare to numerology in that way that you can understand it also well. Let's start with my focus towards at the middle point, towards what I can define, what I am able to define. And you immediately hear in the word also that it has two big parts, the at and an attention, as if it's almost two words. And tension will easily get us the association automatically of intention, of intensifying. So I'm at it, I'm going towards it, and then I intensify it with the tension. For me, it gives me that extra effect in associations that helps me to go towards the expression of the word itself. These are unconsciously, they are easily associated if you think about it. Not that I say that this should be like that or it is intended like that, but it's easily associated, and that makes it easily associated as well. So what do we have already? We have A to T. Actually, from my point of view, it is actually about my attention also, what I give attention. I give attention to what needs to be given attention to understand what it is. And it's already about attention. The T will be doubled with attention. It's a double T, so I have to have that cross point again. Now also the cross point, not just upon the random point, but also upon my middle point of attention again, my middle point of in the background as well. All this attention is not just towards the random thing, but also about the definition almost of the thing, of the whole thing, what it can be. And the T will go in that way vertically to that middle point of attention. With that double T, it will do that. Now I will suddenly, because the E is coming as the next letter, I will also compare it and use comparisons from that point, but because the A is from the second category, it's comparing my vision to your vision, what I already know, what I don't know. So let's see what I have also. What I have is, of course, also a timed frame, the timed frame of E. E is about timing, that I'm going to time something, so that I'm going to use it for something, maybe even with the N even more. I'm going to use it from that point onwards and see what I can do with it. Let's see what will be changing. And I will do that from the full middle with a double T. I will almost have a two-dimensional arrow towards what I'm going to use in as big perspective as I can have it, of a big definition as I can have it, and see what I can use it for. It's intensified in a way as well, as I already told you. I'm going to see from T to T what are the differences. What's the differences from where I start from where I'm going to, and the whole differences, so that I can use it and I can define it. Define it with T, use it with N. Again with the T, it will make again that middle point vision. So I'm just having an abstraction here. And the E is the other way around, is that feedback process, which goes again to the same point. Where are my middle points? Where can I apply it? What's the limitations of where I can apply it? I'm going to limit it towards the point of reference of the cross points of references. With the O, it will say again that I'm going to focus on what can I do with it, what can I do with it in that time process. And the N again, in that time process where I can use it, and when I see the differences between what is different for me or what is different for you, what can I use it. All this attention is actually on top of each letter. It's always a kind of even more. I'm going to focus upon all these differences. The differences of timing, my selective view in I, or the distinction where the letter is used for, the timing process or in O, the timing differences in E, and it gives me actually a kind of idea that there is a time and place for everything. Just discover these things. And when I think about it, what attention actually is, and I would really make up a definition of what is that attention, it actually describes the same kind of thing as that there's a time and place for everything, because here with all the arrows, it gives attention to what is changing at any place and at any time, in that selective view that I'm only going to watch that what is changing here at some place, at some time, any time and any place, and any change again and again. That kind of attention is actually also the kind of attention that I'm following up already for a very long time in my videos, that the positions of the letters are not just about positions, but they are swifting attention. What is my attention going to when it's going towards that point in space, in time, or in the time-space context and limitation and definition? That's what I'm doing. That's where I use my word of attention for. And that's where I go to with my attention time and time again. I hope this was also more clear. Every word has a combination of letters that directs you to what needs your attention, that needs your awareness, to how the things are moving. Okay, here it's like, okay, it's just going to follow the positions and arrows and so on, and you can say, okay, it's a little bit it is kind of improvisation with these elements, but actually it's the improvisation with the kind of elements that you have in the letters they bring you to the aspects that you need to understand where you need to go to. And that's actually the essence of it. And that's how your intelligence and the intelligence of the word is driving you towards automatically. You only have to sense these access points and just let it go. Just let your mind go towards these points without prejudgment, without pre-preparations of what it should be. Just let it go towards the thoughts that bring you towards these positions. And they bring you to the positions that are the most logical, they are the most simple. And then all the complex things that it can allow are also allowed at that time. Thanks again for watching. Bye.